Madonna is directing a biopic on Madonna, and that's being backed by Universal, being written by Diablo uh, um, uh, Cody.
Cody? Yeah.
So yeah, what's your first reaction to Madonna taking creative license over her life story, which could span 5 decades? We're not certain at this point.
I think it's possibly the most Madonna thing she could possibly do. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I, I mean, we've had a run in recent memory, with Rocket Man and Bohemian Rhapsody and those kinds of things of movies about musicians being a huge deal. So there's that element. I think it's going to be something that I think here's the interesting quandary, I guess, of this movie is I'm sure Universal wants it to be the kind of movie that will do those kind of like major, for everybody, everyone can go see the film. But I wonder if just how honest it will be and how objective about her own life
Mhm.
Madonna can be in putting it on the screen, because she's had a lot, her career has been, provocative, controversial, groundbreaking as well on many levels. In addition to just being like one of the most successful pop stars of all time and one of the most groundbreaking songwriters of all time. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how deep it goes, I guess, is what I'm driving at.
Yeah, I'm hoping that she actually takes like huge creative chances here and actually plays with the idea of what Madonna is as a character, and not only relate some of the experiences that we'll want to see. I mean, like, I'd love to see all the work that she did before breaking out in like the early 80s. I'd love to see that aspect, but also see how she reinvented herself, and sort of like touch upon those things, but also perhaps do away with what we've seen in the recent in these recent features that you mentioned. So instead of checking off items off the list, why not play with the idea of that character, and I don't know, give us a fully fledged representation of things that we might not have known, or give us total make believe. I want her to sort of like stray away
Mm.
from that. Certainly, the what's going to be fun is that the music, the license, the hits, and all the music rights is a non-issue here.
Yeah, you make a good point. I think there's an opportunity here to play with the mythology of Madonna, of who she is, and what she represents. And her career has taken her through so many different changes in styles, in fashion, in music, in culture. Like now that we're talking about it like this, I can't help but think, an I'm Not There kind of approach would be amazing. Like you have different actors playing her at different points in her career. You blend fact and fiction. You almost make the movie as much of a myth or as much of a construct, or I guess if that's the right word to use, as her persona, as her career. I think that's a really cool opportunity. But again, like this is a major studio film. I, Diablo Cody, who I think is a really good screenwriter, a really good filmmaker. But she works in a certain style, in a certain lane. So I'm I'm wary of just how many risks this film was going to take.
Well, knowing her, I believe that she might take a lot of chances and play with the play with the perception of what she was in a larger public. But I hope she gets into the nitty gritty of the creative process, because I mean, let's face it, she was a hit machine for a very long time. I'm Eric Lavallée. I'm editor-in-chief and site owner for IONCINEMA.com. And this is
Kevin Jagernauth, contributing writer for the playlist.
And together we are IndieSponge.